What's up guys, welcome to the artclasses.com. Today I am going to show you how I paint another speed painting. This one is called Resurrection Spell. So as you can see it here, probably a witch or a warlock making a resurrection spell on this young lady over here. So she's kind of rise and then a bunch of butterflies. So I guess it's a light magic. Yeah. Anyways, this one takes about 30 minutes, but I touch up a little bit on her face and then her leg, her feet, and some of the hands. So take up maybe another half an hour to touch it up after the speed painting that I did. Usually I'll touch up when I do the video so that it looks a little bit better, so it doesn't come off as like some scribbly stuff. I try to get some time to make it look slightly a bit better. If you never seen my video before, you can go check a more basic video. The link is up there, or you can go directly to my channel. You're gonna see a bunch of basic Photoshop tutorial, composition, face, and all that. But if you're familiar with my channel, then just go ahead and watch it. Or if you're never familiar with my channel, just go ahead and watch it anyway. And if you have any questions, just post it down below on the comment section, or just go to my channel and find some video that are more relevant to you. It's probably easier. All right, let's get started. So this one, I start off with the gradient map. I have it darker on the top and then lighter on the bottom, since it's kind of like at night scene, and I'll have the light kind of more in the middle and the glow from the body. And then I use a lasso tool to make some rock shape, and I try to make the rock shape a little bit more complex than what I usually do, and trying to get the light and shadow and the shape of the rock. And then I make another lasso tool to make an additional rock, and using texture brush. Doesn't matter what kind of texture brush you use, just make sure it has noise and grimes on it, and make sure that you try to paint them at the direction. Make sure you have the in mind what lighting direction you want, so to get it to form correctly. So in this one, the light is coming from the top right a little bit, and then as you can see, the change of plane happened on the left side, and it's getting darker on the left and then darker on the bottom. And then I'm gonna have another rock formation here using the lasso tool. Again, I'm filling in with the darker color first, and then I'm adding more light. And this one can be the opposite lighting direction, because I'm gonna have the glowing from the body, so the lighting will be coming a little like from the middle, and that's why I picked that the opposite lighting direction from the previous rock formation. But then at the bottom it will have shadow also. So this is a pretty quick one. So in this one, I kind of know what I had in mind. I want a figure to float in the middle off to the left, and then I'll have the witch kind of figure off to the right. So now I'm making another layer, putting the witch figure on in a hood. She might be a witch or a warlock, who knows. And then just a silhouette. And I also make sure that I can make a selection to the silhouette, and I add some light on her, and the lighting also coming a little bit from the bottom, and as it go up, then it's getting a little bit darker. Then I try to make the shape for the inside the hood using a regular flat brush to getting the shadow underneath it. I scale her down a little bit because I think she's a bit too big for what I need. And then I'm adding I'm trying to get her arm to look right, and just like she raised her arm up as you see in the beginning. Then I'm adding another rock formations, and I think you should have like a little bit in the background, just to add more element into the scene, because it's look a little bit empty at the moment. This one's going to be not, since it's further away, you don't have to have that much contrast. It's be a lot less contrast than the object that are in the front, and a lot lighter. So there, I think that works fine. Then I'm going to add more light behind it. Just to make the atmosphere a little bit more interesting. So now I'm gonna make another layer and creating this female figure floating. So I'm just, instead of drawing, most of the time I'll just making a silhouette instead, because it's a lot quicker, and then I can use a lasso tool by just making a selection on that layer, and I will be able to paint a really quick light and shadow in there instead of like drawing and just fill it in later. This way it's a lot quicker. But sometimes it's kind of take a while to get used to it, but once you get used to it, it can make your workflow a lot faster. And then I have her hair hanging down, add some shadow, then make a selection. And actually I deselect it because I want to put a dress on. It's like a white dress on her. Really quick, and the clothes are like hanging down. And I add some more light or some glowing right behind the figure itself. So it looks like her body gives some light off of it, just slightly, a little bit, not too strong. Then I make a selection on the figure and start painting some shadow on it. Add some texture, and painting her face in this angle is kind of tricky. So start adding her jawline, her eyelid. And a lot of you ask why I don't zoom in. Zoom in is like the last stage of illustration if you're doing it. At this stage, it's still early, very early, and I just want to make sure all the lighting are proper and hopefully it's correct. And if you zoom in too soon, then you get, most of the time you get lighting off and you focus too much on the detail. At this stage, I just want to get the overall composition and overall lighting and everything to look like they are together first. And to work at a distance, it's a lot easier to see whether everything fits together correctly or not. So now we got the face. And oops, wrong brush. So I'm just gonna erase the dress that was on top of her forearm, and then just adding some reddish color to her hand. And try to clean up her face a little bit more, because I think I put a bit, way too much texture onto her face. Clean it up and make it less texture or less noise. And decided to use flat brush instead to create shadow. Now I'm trying to give her a better silhouette on the arm. Now it's become a little bit too skinny, so I'm just gonna repaint it back in. There's some shadow on the dress. And then I used a soft brush to kind of create the shadow to the overall figure from below, so the light would be just on torso and pelvis or the top of her body itself. And I add some more light. And then some folding and wrinkle on the clothes on her dress. And add some more light onto her body to give it a little bit more form. And then I use smudge tool for a little bit to pull in some wrinkle and clean up some skin. And now I'm just going to add some effect using splattered kind of brush to add this sort of sparkling, because it's a spell. And then I'll have a bunch of butterfly, glowing butterfly all around the body. So it's kind of like she's floating from the ground. Because resurrection, usually when you play video game, it's like usually when people die and they, the effect, they're floating again and they come back to life because of the spell. A bit more dust or sparkling, and then I dodge them a little bit. So now I move the witch figure a bit more to the right. Then now I'm gonna go in and give her a face, because she's now faceless. And I zoom in a little bit, give her eye socket, maybe some eyebrows, trying to get the basic facial feature, and then shadow under the nose. At this point, I'm just trying to get the shape of everything, not the fine detail. Then I give her the glowing eyes to kind of convey that she is magical. Give them some glowing eyes or glowing hands or something glows, then your person would look more magical. I resize her face a little bit because it was way too small. Then I zoom out, and maybe I should give her some strain of hair coming outside of the hood. Well, some bounce light that, she has a glowing eye, so it probably bounce off of part of her hood. Then I'm making her hands, so she raises her hand to kind of making a spell. Trying to get the right value. And I realized that I have some overlay on, that's why when I paint it, it's got way too bright. I have to turn that layer off. And her sleeve. And then I turn that glow layer back on again. Move hand up a little bit. I think that looks about right. And then I was trying to make her raise 2 hands, but then I decided not to. And now I'm using I just make a butterfly brush and just make a butterfly everywhere. To kind of like give it a magical effect that the butterfly bring this lady back to life, something like that. Because butterfly are pretty. Alright, so this is pretty much it. And then yeah, so this is pretty much it. And here's the final image of the resurrection spell. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and learned something from it. If you want any more information on Photoshop painting tutorial or drawing tutorial in general, just go to my channel. I have about 400 something, over 400 video there, so you can look for something, or you can just type in and search on YouTube and type my name, Untitled Chapter, in there. You probably find something useful that you're looking for. Also, I have a premium tutorial that you can go download. It's a few bucks per video, and most of the video are 2 hours or more long, and it has all the step, and I explain what layer I use and how much opacity in depth. And if you're interested and want to take it seriously, just go up on the link and download it. I also have a mentorship program, private lesson, so you can also click there and find out information too if you want to get better at digital painting or character design or speed painting or whatever you want to do. All right, well, support the channel. Thanks for supporting the channel, and thank you for watching the tutorial. I will probably upload another one soon. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. I'm talking a little too fast and I got confused how to arrange my word in English. Anyways, all right, well, have a great weekend. Bye bye.